I grew up in church. So a lot of the foundations of what I do now is my love for music, my love for maybe speech, maybe not so much being in front of the camera, but you know, at this point using what I learned and to helping people. Because I mean, at the end of the day, that's what I like doing. I like helping people. That's why I'm giving you guys a documentary TV show. I want to show you guys, you know, what I grew up around. I grew up with these posters. I'm gonna show y'all literally. I mean, we're at the basement. We're in the basement of the church right now. I'm gonna show you exactly what I grew up around. Perfect. I'm gonna just take y'all with me. Just come with me real quick. See, when I was younger, we'd be playing. This room wasn't really here, but this stuff used to be everywhere. Grandpa, he started a record company. When I was younger, I probably wasn't even born when he started it, but he was always heavily involved in music, always producing something. As you can see, he produced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, about 13 albums on this poster alone. 13 albums with Richie Ray and Bobby Cruz, which, by the way, are two people who innovated and helped put together, helped coin the word salsa. When they started doing Christian music, Richie Ray and Bobby Cruz, Grandpa was the person that helped them produce their music and put their music through a Christian and religious outlet. But I grew up with all kinds of music. That's cassette right there. That's Richie Ray, Bobby Cruz.
Well, God is music. Air is music. Time and space is music. So, whoever don't like music, they're not alive. So I have a brother that sings. My mother used to sing. So I said, it would be a nice idea if one day I could sing. And I became a singer. I'm a singer all over the place, South and Central America. And then I started a small company, music producing, religious music producer. And I produced 42. Out of 42, I produced over 20 bestsellers. Do you know that most of the singers and musicians out there, they used to come to church? From Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, and you name it. They used to go to church. So church is music. Well, listen, if you're a school teacher, you work 40 hours a day, 35 hours a week. If you're a police officer, 40 hours a week, and if you get overtime, you get a lot of money. Being a pastor is sometimes 16, 20 hours without no pay. Because it's life. You don't think about getting paid. You don't think about getting wealth. You don't think about getting cars. You think about life. You think about helping people. And the least thing that you have in your mind is money. But again, it was wrong. I didn't have a car. It took a long time to have my first car, and it cost me $35. So I have to walk. And I used to walk from Symphony Hall to Shaman with my kids, walk to church. There's always an opening. You see, I know you studied philosophy, right? Mm-hmm. And for 4 years, and you was a bright student, and you haven't found a job yet. And now you got a job. Last week you got a job. But in this field, always opening for pastor, because the Bible says that the harvest is plentiful, but workers are few. The few people want to be a pastor because there's no money here. At least in my field. In other fields, people make money, but the Bible says that always is opening to become a pastor. Always. All you have to do is love people, love the Lord, and love yourself. Yeah, they call it the silent revival because usually when people call revival, it's noise and a lot of singing, a lot of dancing. But the silent revival is because my mouth was so quiet because I didn't have a big saying. But I started knocking on the door from that little church in Massachusetts, 349 churches came out, and it's still growing among the Hispanic. That's why they call it the silent revival, because without making noise, we make people. We didn't make noise, but we make people alive. That's why they call it a silent revival.
What happened at that time, as far as the city of Boston? Who didn't know what happened was like Blackstone Park. What happened that day, and what was going on at that time for that incident to happen?
Yeah, it was a big riot. The Black Panthers, Young Lords, and the rest of the Puerto Rican in Blackstone Park. They started a big riot against police, against whoever hate Puerto Ricans or Spanish-speaking people. At that time, Puerto Rican and black people. So they started a big riot. And because I was a minister, because I was a boy, and because black and Puerto Rican loved me, so the police invited me to get involved. And I moved myself and my office to that riot 24/7 for a whole week. I came up with an idea. The idea was, why don't we start church here? And police, fire department, the press, the governor, the mayor said, you're crazy. No, I'm not crazy. If the Lord changed my life, and I have changed many lives, why don't we start here, right here in the midst of the riot? Don't forget, they burned the whole block. Blackstone Park, almost the whole block. And we started a little singing, a little church, a little talking to people. And 1 week later, Boston Law says the church did it because the riot finished, and we haven't had a riot ever since. And that dream still piling up, and growing, and we never stop.